Welcome to Popcorn Planet. I am Andy Signore, and I've been so curious to see how Zack Snyder's Justice League actually did on HBO Max. Taking away the hashtags and the restore the SnyderVerse movement, Zack Snyder's drama, all of it, take it all away. How did it actually do for HBO Max, and did it make them money? The reality is, guys, you're only going to know based on how they put out a press release today. And every streamer does this, guys. You can say, Andy, you're crazy. You can say, if this had been a massive hit for Warner Brothers, for Warner Media, whoever you want to call it, if this had been a massive hit, they'd be out there doing a press release similar to this one. Coming to America, most watched streaming movie in a given weekend during the pandemic. This is how every streamer does it. If there's a hit, Netflix, whoever, they always come out with some way to spin the number to make it look like a massive hit. Now, they never really reveal the full numbers, and it's always hard to know how it did. So let's be fair, I don't know exactly how it did, but this is typically what happens. So how did Warner Media respond after the Snyder Cut has been out? And let's not fool ourselves. They absolutely know how many downloads they got, how popular it was, how many people signed up because of it. They absolutely know. And if it had been gangbusters like all the Snyder fans thought it would be, we'd be getting some celebratory press, no? Well, let's see how they handled their press release today. Warner Media's Andy Sarnoff on Zack Snyder's Justice League and DC's future. Uh-oh. Now, take it out on them, man. Don't take it out on me, because this is not a good look. This is not a good article in favor of Zack Snyder's movie. Now, Zack has already been out there saying he's done with it. He's sort of, I think, reading the room and realizing, all right, let's let this just die. But the reality is, based on this article, which we're going to read together, I've skimmed a little bit, but I wanted to read real with you. This does not look good for restoring the Snyderverse. So don't shoot the messenger. It is what it is. But guys, if you were worried that this is going to be an ongoing thing, well, it still could be. The fans may never give it up. But here's Warner Media, not Warner Brothers, Warner Media Studio CEO Andy Sarnoff says the release of Snyder Cut will complete the director's superhero trilogy, reinforcing the studio's desire to move past the social media campaign to hand back control of the DC film universe to the filmmaker. Instead, Sarnoff believes the future DC isn't just the movies. She's excited about multi-platform future, one that sees Batman, Superman, The Flash, and other Justice League members popping up on streaming shows, video games, television spinoffs, and big screen outings. It's a vision that echoes what Marvel's been doing with Avengers characters, taking superheroes like Vision, Scarlet Witch, Loki, who previously appeared. Warner Media chief also excited about the diverse range of creators she's been enlisting to tell some of these stories, which includes Between the World and Me author Coates to write Superman's film, as well as developing Blue Beetle, which marks the company's first Latinx superhero. Oh, I hate that term. Oh, God, I hate that term. All right, so here we go. But Sarnoff may have to deal with an unruly, emboldened fan base, one that successfully pushed Warner Media to release a 4-hour R-rated version of Justice League, which was truer to Snyder's darker vision. Sarnoff spoke to Variety on Sunday, 5 days after the Snyder Cut streaming on HBO Max, about catering to DC's fan base, the future of DC, and actor Ray Fisher's allegations of misconduct on racial bias during the shootings of Justice League. Guys, this is going to get spicy. Let's get to it.
Booyah.
All right, this is Warner Media, okay? Andy Sarnoff over at Warner Media. No, Ray hasn't called her out yet. Let's see if she does. If he does at some point. Why did you decide to release the Snyder Cut? We wanted to give Zack the opportunity to complete his vision in a 4-hour movie, which is impossible to do in theaters. We're happy to have HBO Max to let the rope out, as it were, and allow the fans to see all 4 hours of Zack's vision. How weird. She said to let the rope out, to hang himself? What? Yeah, we wanted to give him the rope to do what he wanted to do. I mean, jeez. Right out the gate, and Sarnoff's ready to just boom, 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 boom. Holy mo! All right, well, let's keep going. What are your plans going forward? We've got an incredible group of creators, television series creators, Max series creators, future films creators. We were basically broadening the base of the talent that we work with on DC because we're so excited about the potential to build out the DC multiverse. It's one of the reasons why I was hired almost 2 years ago. The before and after was very siloed organization with no connectivity between the businesses. DC was being developed, but in a kind of monolithic way in each division. My mantra coming in was always to make it bigger and broader, and we really want to surprise and delight the fans with more connective tissue across the various media and platforms. I'm talking movies, HBO Max, television, our games division. Snyder Cut came about because of fan campaign. Do you feel like you need to strike a balance between being responsive to fans and charting your own course as a company? How responsive do you believe DC should be? Interesting question. Let's see what she says. We're always going to listen to our fans, but we are in a service of the broad broadest fan base, and we owe them an integrated, holistic strategy. Interesting. So that means, hey, you Snyder fans, you are not the broad fan base. You are a siloed fan base. We are the shepherds of the franchise, and hopefully when the fans see what we've got in store, they'll know that DC is in good hands across many different platforms with many different creators. I mean, that's scaring me. Who's your Kevin Feige? If it's not you, Ann, who's in charge of it all? Amada? Tell us, who's in charge of connecting these tissues? We need someone there what we know is actually paying attention to it all, because otherwise it could get pretty unruly. We want different voices in the mix. For certain fans that want singular voices, they may be disappointed, okay? But we would ask them to be patient. We've been patient forever, Ann! See that what we've got in store, because perhaps the newer voices in the mix will have just as compelling stories to tell. On balance, you could of course want to listen to your fans, but we do want to try to stay true to our vision and our mission for DC to build out. So you hear that, Snyder fans? They don't care about you anymore. They've gotten the numbers. Take it out with her. She's making it very clear. They're done. It's over. We have weekly meetings with our key execs in every division. Oh my God, I can't imagine how annoying those weekly meetings are. I've been in those weekly meetings. Oh my God, sometimes it gets so frustrating week to week. Like we already talked about all this. Last August, I was made head of studios and networks, and now I have all the creative groups underneath me. So now around that table, it's not just Warner Brothers TV, it's games, it includes HBO Max, Turner Networks, Adult Swim. Oh, lovely. That gets me so excited. Great, that means Wonder Woman's going to show up on Adult Swim. Like the Amazonians showing up in Space Jam 2. Get ready for that, guys. Synergy. That's going to fix DC. Oh, Jesus. We're all involved in these and all these people in our plans going forward. That means the media is going to be more connected, sometimes in subtle ways and sometimes in more overt ways. Like opposite, the Suicide Squad, we're spinning out Peacemaker. With James Gunn and John Cena passionately developing that for HBO Max, it's my job to make sure we super serve our fans across all demos and all fan bases. Here we go. There's also been a toxic side of the fandom, with reports that critics and some of your executives have received threats for not endorsing the Snyder Cut or being perceived as standing in the way of its release. What's your reaction to that behavior? Woohoo! Let's get to it. We're not tolerating any of that. Ho-ho! There it is! There it is! Mic drop, it's over. They're like, we are done with you. You ruined this. The toxic fans ruined it. I don't know how else I could have said it over the months, but told you so. My God, finally, that behavior is reprehensible no matter what franchise you're talking about or what business you're talking about. It's completely unacceptable. Facts. I'm very disappointed in the fans that have chosen to go out in that negative place with regard to DC. Yep. And with regard to some of our executives, it's just disappointing because we want this to be a safe place to be. We want DC to be a fandom that feels safe and inclusive. It should be. And everyone out there who's sort of enamored and let those fans be so divisive and toxic, it's on you too, man. We want people to be able to speak up for things they love, but we don't want to be a culture of canceling things that any small faction isn't happy with. We are not about that. We're about positivity and celebration. You see that? This isn't just about the threats. Whoa! She's coming out all cylinders. Boom, 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 boom. She has drawn the line in the sand and saying, it's over, Snyder fans. Move on. We're not dealing with it anymore. This is massive. Campaign release of Snyder Cut has moved into a new phase. It's now Restore the Snyderverse. What's your reaction to this new campaign? Man, that gloves, they're not hiding anything back. I appreciate that they love Zack's work, and we were very thankful for his many contributions to DC. We're just so happy that he could bring his cut of the Justice League to life, because that wasn't in the plan until about a year ago. Facts! Right? Because Warner Media did it last. Hello? How about the facts that she just revealed as well? This time last year, which is end of March, as I told you all? Oh my God, the facts coming out of this is unreal. With that comes the completion of his trilogy. We're very happy we've done this, but we're very excited about the plans we have for all the multi-dimensional DC characters that are being developed right now. What? Will there be a Suicide Squad? We won't be developing David Ayer's cut. Oh my God! Holy moly! Boom! Holy moly, she is going to war with these guys. I am impressed. They are finally going toe to toe with the, I'm still shocked. They will not be doing David Ayer's cut. Leave us alone. Move on. It's over. You hear that, fans? You see what you did? Yeah, great. You got your cut, but you were too aggressive. You were too aggressive, and all of you out there that enabled it and allowed it happen, this is what you get. You reap what you sow. That's what happens. Looking at the DC slate, there seems to be an emphasis on creating opportunities for diverse creators and characters. You got a Latino superhero movie with Big Blue Beetle, Sasha Calle becoming the Latinx. Oh my God, stop making Latinx happen. It's not a thing. Mean Girls. Portray Supergirl, and you got Coates writing for a Superman movie. Is there a concerted effort to take the brand in a more inclusive direction? It's important, super important to me. Of course, because of course they have to say that. It's in line with what we want to do. Sure, I'm sure it is. We want to branch out. Why didn't you do it then earlier, huh, Ann? Why didn't you do it earlier then if it was so important to you? Now you're doing it. This year you're doing it. Because it's so important. Idiots, these hypocritical idiots. And I'm not saying, whatever, make whatever you want, but this idea that it's so important now, not even now, but it's what we want to do. No, you don't. You have to do it now. Just stop lying to us. Superman is incredibly excited. I can't wait to see what he comes up with. Machete on the Flash for Patty Jenkins. Matt Reeves is just finishing the Batman against all odds. We're so excited to finish that movie and have lots of people see it because Matt's take on Batman is different than other takes. Ooh, that'll get you excited, guys. It's different. Even familiar characters have lots of possibilities. So she sort of avoided that. She didn't really get into all the other stuff, and she didn't say Latinx. So kudos to her. You talk about breaking down silos in the company. What does that mean for DC? Creators want to have the franchises that are larger than life, but oftentimes you start working with a company, and that company has discrete divisions, and so you become a film creator, you become a television creator, and never shall twine meet. Facts. That happened in Marvel too. Now they're fixing that. My role is to pull people together towards a vision that can make the whole more than the sum of the parts. One of the key aspects of that is having a long-range plan. I'd love to hear about that. These movies and TV series can take 2+ years to make, so if you're not planning out and bringing other people into the plan, that further accentuates the silos. It has having the plan and then having a strategy where all the various businesses work in harmony to create the plan. It seems logical, but it's very rarely done well. One of the things, Marvel did it well. One of the things that I said to the group early was never let your fans see your org chart. And boy, could the fans see our org chart in 2019. I mean, well said. She's right. Marvel's gotten very good that they sort of allow you to sort of see it earlier, but interesting. How do viewers and fans see the org charts when it came to DC? They saw this character in movies and it had nothing to do with the character in TV. Creating the more unified vision, which is coming together with Peacemaker spinning off the Suicide Squad, you'll see a lot more of that going forward. You'll see original things and businesses that don't relate, and that's okay too, but we're in charge of the decision-making about whether to connect the dots or not. We don't want to be predictable. We want fans to spot Easter eggs at the end of the movie that relate to a movie or show coming up or a show about to launch in HBO Max. We can harken back to something that was said in the Flash movie, or there could be a cameo appearance of one of the actors from one movie into a current show. So they're copying the Disney Plus Marvel method. They've always been trying to play catch up to what Disney and Marvel are doing. She just doesn't want to say like Disney and Marvel do. Here we go. Let's get to Ray Fisher. Let's get to this. Ooh, yeah. Ray Fisher has accused Warner Brothers of racially biased behavior, trying to impede investigation and McTonic on the set of Justice League. Did your investigation corroborate any of his claims of racism on the part of your employees? No. No. Did you hear that? No.
Booyah.
Fatality.
Our investigator judge, Catherine Forrest. Well, there she is. She's put herself out there. I guess that's the one you leaked, Ray, who said you were we got you. You're credible. Has issued statements specifically about DC Walter Hamada, saying that there was no evidence of interference by Walter in the investigation. Well, he didn't interfere because I didn't let him interfere. Okay, well then guess what, Ray? The investigation that you didn't interfere with says there was nothing wrong. So are we done? Are we done? My God, she's just dropping bombs all over the place.
Fatality.
There's no evidence of interference. She said that the cuts made in Joss Whedon's version were not racially motivated. I don't know why everyone thinks they were. We took it very seriously, so we hired one of the top investigators out there, gave her a tremendous amount of leeway. Ray Fisher has previously stated that because of non-disclosure agreement, he can't share specifics about the... What? Because he endured on the set. Is there an NDA that would prevent him from publicly sharing all the details of what transpired in Justice League? Oh my God. This is insane. Not that I know of. No. So again, I don't know what the hell NDA would protect him from that. We've said it from day one. I've spoken to lawyers on that. It cannot protect you from this. If they're doing something like this, you have every right to stand up and say, they did this to me. You can't protect people from hurting you. That's not how it works. And she's saying no. Walter Hamada has been on the receiving end of a lot of fan criticism. What was his involvement in the production of Justice League? Walter had nothing to do with Justice League. He was not running DC Films when Justice League was completed. He wasn't put in charge of DC Films until the following year. About a year ago, Walter, Toby, me, and Bob Greenblatt, Kevin Riley, Sarah Aubrey sat around a table with Zack and greenlit. So this is interesting. About a year ago. This is important. It wasn't put in charge of DC. About a year ago. So yeah, she's saying a year ago. A year ago is when this happened. Not before it, guys. So many people So many people out there in this fan. No, Zack, this was always the plan back in 2019. Lies. It wasn't until the spring of 2020 when this happened. That is so important to say. When I did my report and said that they didn't want to do that, this was so clear that there was a lot of people at Warner Brothers who didn't want to do it. We had it set around a table with Zack and greenlit the Snyder Cut. The cut about a year ago, she's saying. So it was probably not even a year ago. It was right about the time when they realized they need it. That cut includes Ray Fisher's entire story, which is something that he had been disappointed had been cut from the film movie 3 years ago. Perhaps we've lost the plot a little bit, which is that Toby and Walter were part of the greenlighting process that allowed Zack's vision to come to life, which includes sharing the full story about Ray's character. There was really nothing that Walter did against Ray. In fact, he offered him a role in the Flash movie. Holy moly, they are scorching Ray in this. Get ready for Ray's rebuttal because this is scorched earth on Ray. Not only did but they offered you a role, Ray. What are you talking about? They were part of the greenlighting process of Zack's movie, and they offered you a role. Walter was recently promoted. I'm fully supportive of Toby and Walter and their visions. Truly believe they are great executives. Walter happens to be a person of color, so he knows what that feels like. Oh, man. He is bringing in diverse voices and accelerated pace more than anyone else has.
Fatality.
I mean, holy moly. You talk about enlisting a broad range of voices when it comes to charting the future of DC. Is there one person calling the shots? Connective tissue in the middle is Jim Lee, who oversees DC Comics. Jim lives, breathes the canon of DC. He works with all the divisions to make sure the storylines are true to the canon. Great. So he's Kevin Feige. There you go. She just finally answered the question. Who's in the middle connecting the future of DC? Who's charting it? Jim Lee is now in charge. Hallelujah. He keeps them coming up with ideas for new storylines. Jim is very much in the middle of everything, but the group together helps spur on new ideas, but there's not one person calling the shots. Okay, well, there you go. Because I want all voices in the room to offer their expertise and knowledge of the formats. Well, that's stupid. You got to have someone in charge, who's making the calls? I mean, come on. You had me and then you lost me. Superheroes, pop-up movies, and streaming shows. How do you make sure there's not too much of a good thing? Couldn't that lead to oversaturation? No. One of the reasons I'm excited about our strategies going forward is it's multi-dimensional. We're not just serving the fan base with the same creative vision. We're trying to expand it. Not every fan has to love every piece that we're doing. Facts, it's true, but we're putting out more tentacles to be able to reach more people with different stories and different platforms. So there isn't fatigue. It's not about the same cadence. We're going to mix things up. We have a slate of DC movies, but it will be richer and more dimensional with a broader array of stories that will help reduce the fatigue because you'll see a whole story about the Flash, and you'll see sequels like Aquaman 2 or new takes on Superman or Shazam, which plays to a family audience. There won't be fatigue if we stayed out a more singular path. There would be fatigue if we stayed on a more singular path. I mean, it seems like they're kind of trying to hit Marvel there. Because we are broadening, we'll have much more potential to grow the franchise across various demos, various types of fans. Well, there you go. Holy moly. That was some serious shots fired. So guys, again, takeaway here. Snyderverse is over. It is over. According to head of Warner Media, who's in charge of everything, she says it is done. It is not on their plan. She doesn't want to do it. She doesn't care about the toxic fans that are coming. She doesn't care about the civil fans that are coming at her. They did it. Zack has completed his trilogy. They wish him well. They said, thank you. Time to move on. And then add to that, to Ray Fisher, it's over, Ray. No, there was nothing there that was wrong. We have the third party came. We took it very seriously. There was nothing there, racist or any otherwise, that had us worry. And by the way, Walter Hamada is still in charge. So this is going to, I mean, man, Zack Snyder gets his win, and then they just boom. I mean, damn, they are not having it. They're coming out strong. They aren't coming out with like, Snyder was a great success. And now look, you're allowed to be mad at Warner Brothers, Warner Media, but be mad at Warner Media. I can't wait to watch the fans turn on the entity that released the Snyder Cut. Mark my words, it's going to happen. They are going to, yay, we bought HBO Max. Canceling HBO Max. I'm done. Now that they got through the Snyder Cut and then it didn't work. And now they're going to turn on their back and just completely shoot them. That's why you don't ever bow to the mob. You can't bow to a mob like that. This is the lesson learned. If you're a part of a fandom, you want to do it politely. Do it politely so everyone's excited that you won. Because, look, I know there were a lot of polite people in that fan base, but there was a lot of anger. There was. And they're acknowledging it, and that's why. They want this to be done and over with. And take all that drama aside. Guys, look what Amazon 2 did. They went out and found a way to make Coming to America look like the biggest success. And then they were out with news saying, we just bought Ace Ventura 3 because we got our next hit. I mean, That's what every streamer does when one comes out, and whether it's a hit or not. Wonder Woman 84, they put out a big Wonder Woman, huge numbers. Now, I mean, there are going to be people say, Andy, no, screw Wonder. The fact is, if this movie had gotten massive amount of downloads that everyone in the Snyderverse thought it was going to get, they would be doing more, and they'd be saying, we'd love to work with Zack. There'd have been something in there. You know what? We'd love to keep the door open. It was a massive success for us. We're proud of Zack. We'll definitely have conversations with him moving forward. Nope, that's not what she said at all. She said it's over. She said it is over. The future. The article about the big release that just dropped, it's over. They're moving on to Godzilla versus Kong. Everybody who thought this was different, you were sold lies. Warner Brothers never wanted this. They still don't. They did it to fulfill a need quickly. That was always the case. We called it from the beginning, and so many fans said otherwise. You're gonna be. Look, I'm happy to be right. I am. I'll be honest. But look, the movie you got your movie. Why would it's got to be enough sometimes? And we can't. Sometimes these fans lose their minds and it's not enough. But that's what we got here. So it's done. But sadly, it's not done. You know it's not done. You know, Ray, Zack, they're all going to start. I know for a fact, I've heard it through people I trust. Zack is ready to come back with boom, boom, boom. And now with this, Zack will be the next one who takes some shots in an interview or somewhere, drawing the line and making it clear what they did to him and his daughter. Mark my words, it's coming. This is a war. It is not over for Zack. It is not over for Ray. It should be. The only one I feel bad for in this equation is Zack. Zack went through an actual tragedy. I do not wish any ill will in him. No matter all the stuff he's done, doesn't matter. I can't even imagine as a parent what he's been through. And I don't wish him any more ill will, and I don't want to poke that guy anymore. He got his movie. Congratulations, Zack. Good for you. Ray Fisher, I know you're standing up for Zack and your friend, but dude, you look like an idiot. Start talking specifics. We've been telling you this for months. Enough is enough. Now it's Warner Media. This is Warner Media. This is Jason Kilar approved this. Your boy who you keep retweeting, who you're seemingly okay with. No, he did this, and Ann Sarnoff. I'd like to see you call them out now, because now they are calling you a liar, is what they're doing. So let's see how accountability really is. Now that you let them make money off of the Snyder Cut, which you did, and you showed up on their red carpet thing and everything, what about the accountability is greater than entertainment, huh? What about that? Oh, no, but Snyder Cut's an exception. Got it. You just look like such a hypocrite to me. It's so sad. And the fact that they're out there saying this, I cannot wait to hear Ray shouting to the sky again about more stuff. It's time for specifics. It's time for specifics or move on. It's over. Warner Media couldn't make it any clearer that it's done. So what do you guys think of this? This was epic. I mean, wow. I'm glad I got to react this with you live. If you guys liked my reaction in this sort of take, make sure you hit that subscribe button, hit the bell for all alerts, smash that like button, leave a comment down below to tell me your thoughts. I can't bring in the hate clicks, bring down the downvotes. I don't care. The reality is what Ann Sarnoff just said, because she's in charge, and she just played it like a boss. Congratulations. All I got to say is, booyah. Stay tuned for more here on Popcorn Planet. We got lots more coming for you. Whew, that was fire.